you. Oh, the whole song played.
Oh, it's moving late. It's moving.
It's glitching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's live though.
Yeah.
All right.
We good. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
We good?
It's just.
Okay. Hello. It's still glitching?
That's late.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to our podcast, BYRD. This is number 6. We're still having technical difficulties. Apologize for being so late. I'm Cynthia.
I'm Hamid.
Hello. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you're enjoying your day. In fact, you're probably enjoying time with your children. And you might catch this podcast later. I want to send a special Happy Mother's Day to Monique Rodwell. Thank you for always being in support of me and whatever I'm doing. And thank you for having such a wonderful son, Supreme King, all of those who always comes up and shows up to help us with our podcast. Happy Mother's Day. It's not that just pops up every once in a while. Happy OMG. Sultan, I need to charge it. Happy Mother's Day, Shakira, who's sitting here with us, taking the time out on her Mother's Day to help with the podcast. I need to charge her in here.
Let's see how they act when Father's Day comes.
We're going to act the same way. We're going to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in here because we don't discriminate. We love everybody.
Balloons, see if we get some balloons and candy.
Well, I don't think... Did I get some balloons and candy today?
I forgot you was a mother.
You forgot I was a mother. I got 5 kids. How would you forget? I have 5 wonderful kids. So I always enjoy being a mother every day, even though it's not designated as Mother's Day. So there. Are you paying attention, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to thank everybody. Do you want to thank everybody, Hamid, for listening in? We've had such a good response to this podcast. I'm very excited. Are you?
I feel the same way you do.
You don't look like it. You gonna wake up this time?
Yeah.
Okay. You here? You with us? Okay. So thank you for showing up, supporting our podcast, and for those of you who have not tuned in yet or have some hesitation, I would like to again share with you our mission statement. So we're kind of crowded back here, but Shakira, can you pop in and give us our mission statement so that everybody will know what our purpose is and will come and support us in our endeavors here. Hello, Shakira. Hello. Happy Mother's Day, baby. How are you? Wow, smooches. Could you tell everybody what our mission statement is?
Yes, I can. BYRD is a podcast, a visual podcast series focusing on the legal system as it impacts and infiltrates our everyday existence. The mission is to free our minds through sharing knowledge and experiences in order to promote awareness, inspiration, and self-love.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You sharp.
Yeah, she got that. Yeah, thank you. So that's our mission statement. So we're only here to share information and to promote good things. When we left off last time, we talked so much. Well, I think I talked so much that I didn't get a chance to discuss a couple of cases that I had pulled up. Now, this was on the issue of social media and how you can get yourself in a sticky situation with your post. So one case that I didn't get a chance to discuss, but is an example of how you can find yourself in a predicament is State v. and I'm waiting for it to come up on my State v. Levitt and Jones. So this is a Superior Court case in New Jersey, and it was decided March 20th, 2019. Now this was the case where a lady was she had $2,200 and she posted the money spread out on her bed on social media.
Continuation from last week.
Yes, this is a continuation. These are the cases these were the examples that I didn't get to discuss. And after she did that, she was watching TV. Her girlfriend was there watching TV with her, and then she heard the door open and two men came in. She recognized one of them. They came in at gunpoint, I believe, and demanded all the money and stole her money. So this was a situation where somebody, they put their business on social media and they didn't necessarily get into legal trouble, but they, got robbed at gunpoint.
But she recognized one of them.
She recognized one, and that person got arrested, but the female who was in her house, remember I said her girlfriend was there watching TV?
Yeah.
Well, they believe that she had something to do with it. So she ended up getting in trouble for it, but I believe she won actually a motion to suppress, and which put her in a better position because they said that there wasn't enough sufficient evidence for her to there wasn't sufficient probable cause for them to search her phone. Because remember we were talking about phones too?
I don't see why not. That's like if I post money on the bed by myself in my house, only people that could rob me is people that know where I live at. I could be friends with somebody from LA. You gonna come all the way from LA to come to my house and get me?
Well, the judge found that the defendant's phone was searched based on mere raw suspicion and not probable cause. And we were talking about probable cause.
Suspicion and probable cause is different.
Probable cause is a heavier standard than a reasonable suspicion.
Reasonable suspicion, don't it open up the door for probable cause?
Reasonable suspicion. Well, this is a whole nother topic to distinguish between reasonable suspicion and probable cause. But you have to have probable cause. Remember the last time you have to have probable cause to do a search warrant. So they took the information. It must have been incriminating evidence from her phone, and the judge said that there was not enough probable cause. If you could have a reasonable suspicion, but you got to have probable cause to get that search.
And you agree with that?
Do I agree with this decision?
Yeah.
I don't.
From what you read so far.
I'm trying to remember what was the reason that the officer decided to go into the phone. The girlfriend who got robbed, she believed that that her girlfriend was involved, and I think it wasn't much more than that. But I don't know. This is a kind of a touchy situation because, like you said, if only certain people knew where I lived and knew what I was doing in the moment, then I'm gonna be suspicious of that person. Mm-hmm. But the point is, when you put all your stuff on social media, how can you pinpoint any particular person? Because if anybody out there in the world has ever been in your house, they know what your inside of your house looks like. It could be anybody because you just put this on social media for the whole world to see. So that
can't be anybody. It only could be people that you're comfortable with bringing to your house.
Well, and that would be more than just this one girl. Like, say for instance, if I posted something in my house, you've been to my house before, Shakira's been to my house before, my two kids live at my house. I don't know if you've been to my house, Prima, now, but he could have been in my house before. So y'all know what my house looks like. So I'm posting something on social media. It could be any one of y'all.
It could be one out of the five, but right. I know it ain't 20, 30 people.
Well, but if it's one out of the five, then you can't just go after this one person. That's the whole point.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that is why more than likely that the motion was granted to suppress because they didn't have enough facts.
Well, could you explain suppress to the people?
Yeah, motion to suppress is when you get, say for instance, there is a search, as in this case, of her phone, and the judge finds there's no probable cause, that there was no probable cause to search the phone, then all the evidence that came from the phone gets suppressed. And if that was the only thing holding you to a case, then your case pretty much gets dismissed. I'm trying to read right quick because this was from last week, so I don't really remember exactly what they had. I know they took her for the police took the person to the police station for a statement, and then there was she refused to consent to a search of the phone, but the officer seized her phone and searched it anyway.
Oh, that's where it messed it up at, I think.
And then then the police got a warrant, a communications data warrant. Remember we were talking about that last time, to search the phone. So they seized the phone, then they got the communication data's warrants to search the phone. And it says the supporting affidavit. Remember I said the police officer has to do an affidavit to present to the judge? So this says the supporting affidavit recounts that defendant made a phone call just prior to the robbery, though this fact was only known to the police after the seizure of defendant's phone. So, okay, now I remember what happened. So they seized the phone, and then they saw that there was a phone call made there was a phone call made right prior to the robbery. So once they found out it was a phone call that was made prior to the robbery, they went to do further search by getting the affidavit.
But they violated at that point.
They violated what this judge is saying, and you guys can read this case yourself. I gave you a site. What the judge was saying is the information that you got for the search warrant application was unlawful because you had no business seizing her phone. So the seizing phones and evidence without a warrant is something that the police officers cannot do. So that was this case. I'll give you the site.
I knew it was something more than that.
Yeah, I'll give you the site again. It's State v. Levitt, Levett, and it's a New Jersey Supreme Appellate Division case, 2019. It was decided March 20th. Oh, and the docket number is A-5229-17T1.
Yeah, they done violate it and then try to go and make it right after the violation.
Pretty much that's what they were doing. They already did something unlawful, and then they tried to come back and cover it with a proper application, and the judge said the first thing was unlawful, so you can't remedy that by coming back with the proper procedure.
Yeah, if they did it right, it probably would have went right.
But this is just an example of how social media can cause you a lot of problems if you are not careful about what you post. There's another case that I wanted to mention to you, and this case is called State v. Chow, CHOW, and it's a New Jersey Superior Appellate Division case, 2019. I think this case went up to the Supreme Court, but don't quote me on that. And this is docket number A-0429-18T3. This is about, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but I'm trying to remember it. This individual was trying to get into PTI. You know what PTI is. Mm-hmm. So that's a diversionary program for people with their first time offenders in the state of New Jersey. You've never been in trouble before and you get in trouble, then you can go into, depending on what kind of crime it is, because there's some crimes you can't get PTI for, but that's a whole different story. But you try to go into PTI. If you're successful in PTI, you get the whole conviction expunged
after a year.
Or whatever period they give you. It's kind of like a mini probationary period. You can't get back you can't get in trouble again. You gotta. So anyway, this individual was trying to get in PTI because he got charges as a result of posting his ex-girlfriend's nude photographs on the internet. Nude. Oh. As in naked.
I understand. I thought you said nude photographs.
See. What? Damn it.
What did you do?
Because it told me to stop. Because it was slow.
Yeah, it's moving.
It's moving
Connection is
slow. Yeah. Our internet is even worse than before. So if you're trying to watch this live on the Facebook Mevo stream, it's probably doing a lot of lagging and it's very slow. But the recorded version is going to be fine. So as soon as we're done here, I'm probably going to upload the recorded version. You could look at that. But in the meantime, if you want, we're live streaming on. Tell them where you're at.
Oh, we live streaming on Instagram, Twin Reed Street.
And on at Bird Podcast on Instagram as well. So if you want to join us on a live stream that is clearer, then you can do that. So anyway, these were young people. One was they're like 18, 19. I think they were college kids. At least the girl was, and then the guy was a little bit older. But anyway, they had been dating or something for about a week or so, a very small amount of time. She sent a bunch of naked pictures to him, and she wanted to break up with him. He got mad. He put all the stuff.
I'm familiar with this. I had this.
Are you want to share your story, honey? Because we'll all be very interested in hearing your story. I know I would. Would y'all be interested in hearing the story? Because see, these real life facts. We said, what was part of the mission statement through our experiences? Oh yeah, he got an experience. Okay, so you go ahead. You go ahead and I'm gonna just.
I'll finish reading.
No. We right at the part where you get to tell us what the heck is going on with you. We right here with the person, the defendant who's trying to get in the PTI. He got mad because she didn't want him no more and put all her pictures on the internet.
Oh, this is the same thing I had.
Now tell us, give us some facts. When, where, how, what was put up. We want to know everything.
We on short time.
We ain't no short time. We're extended time for this. We want to know every single thing about what happened. No, go. I'm just playing with you. So. What? Just briefly, what was your situation? Because I think I remember it. You remember it, Shakira?
Oh. Do you? I never knew she remembered this. You got a text? You got a picture sent to you? Huh?
She ain't saying nothing. She's pleading the fifth. Go ahead.
Nah, you can't represent her in this case.
No, I can represent her in every single case.
She didn't even think about the fifth.
Okay. So you had a situation where your pictures were posted, explicit pictures of you were posted on social media because somebody got mad at you.
Yeah, my daughter mother.
Okay, well let's not mention no names. Lord have mercy.
Well, I got 3 of them, so you know.
Y'all gonna have to guess. Y'all gonna have to guess. But anybody who was around at the time, y'all know exactly what happened. So
well, stop fucking around before I tell.
Who said that? Tell? Oh, Lord. We're going to talk about snitching in a minute.
We talked about telling it last week, man. You should have tuned in for that.
You late.
No, we're about to talk about that this week. I just got to get off. So anyway, that was another situation where, and they didn't let the gentleman into PTI because they said the damage to the victim of the case was such that it didn't warrant him getting into PTI. Now, I think they appealed it. I don't know what the outcome was.
But it wasn't like it was a violent offense, a violent crime.
It's a violation.
It's still falling. What kind of charge? Violation of privacy. You know how many violations of privacy that you could get on a lot of different charges, and they still accept you for PTI? You violated the school zone when you sold the drugs. I mean,
what you talking about drugs for? What the hell are you talking?
No, I'm giving her an example. She said, it's a violation of privacy.
Well, I mean, it's harassment too. You know that catch-all harassment statute that we talk about all the time. That's if somebody continues to post pictures of you and you don't want them to, then that's harassment. And the victim, in a situation like that, nobody wants their naked pictures all over the internet.
Give them consent. I know my naked pictures were sent to my cousins, men cousins, female cousins, lawyers, friends.
Let's move on, child. Hold on. I was trying to find the language where I think this decision This was reversed. Oh, he was let into PTI. This most changes was the minimization of defense suggestion. It not only exceeds the scope of it, but undermines. Well, this decision was reversed, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe the state appealed it. Maybe he was let in. Oh, yeah, he was let in. The state appealed it, and the appellate division decided in favor of the state. I think that's what's and reversed it. So I think it was appealed again. I'll update you on this one. But the point of this one also is that you know, you got to be careful about what you post on the internet because it can be used against you, just like it was used against Hamid. Hamid, you know, you could have filed some type of charges against, but you wouldn't do that to your baby's mother.
I'll be a bitch ass nigga.
Did you say bitch and ass and nigga? That's 3, but you still got to get your candy.
Yeah,
damn. It's all in the yes, Sultan. We understand it's all in the dictionary. You just flip them out. Boom, boom, boom. Let a female do something like that. Oh, she cursing. Ah! Nobody even flinched when he did it. Eat your candy. Eat your candy. So, and then here's another one. Here's the last case because we got to move on to conspiracy. But if we don't finish in time, we're going to continue later on because this stupid Mevo internet thing is bothering me. This is another case, State of New Jersey v. Tiffany. I don't know if I'm saying the first name right, but the last name is Young, and it's docket number A-1849-17T2. Appellate Division, December 3, 2018. And this is a case, you can read this yourself because I want to move on, but this was a situation about some type of robbery allegation, and then the person, the defendant, sent text or something on social media threatening the victim, say he's going to do this and that and the third to the victim because the victim first the victim did not cooperate, then he started cooperating. So all of these messages were used by the state to further their case, and I don't know which I think it was on Twitter, but anyway, they got all these he says, I'm gonna fuck up your dad when I see him, I want my fade, bruh, where you at, you lucky, your snitch ass was in front of the courthouse, all this stuff, and they got it.
Any candy for that, or you just
no, I'm not cursing, I'm just reading exactly on the text. Y'all look this case up. It's right here. State v. Young, NJ Super, Abdiv 2018.
It might be like F, not.
No, I ain't got to sugarcoat it. That's exactly what it says, because if I don't say it exactly the way it's in there, read it. You see, I'ma fuck your dad up when I see him. I want my fade, bruh. Where you at? You lucky your snitch ass was in front of the courthouse. I'ma kill you. You see that? That's what he said. Now that wasn't me cursing. That was him cursing. He said it all on
that in court.
He said that was a Twitter message. So he got himself even into more trouble than he was in the first instance by doing all that.
What case you talking about?
Oh, I'm gonna say it again. It's called. I'm sorry if I'm moving a little fast. I tend to speak fast. Okay, I'm gonna slow down. Maybe I'll have somebody else read the cases out because I talk fast. Hold up, I'm scrolling back up. It's State v. Young, Young. The first name is Tiffany. I can't pronounce it. Tifani.
Tiffany.
No, but this is a boy.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking that it's pronounced some other way.
It's Tiffany.
Yeah, whatever. So it's the docket number is A as in Apple -1849-17 T as in Tom 2. So you could put, when you look these cases up, all these cases that I'm telling y'all about, they're online. I ain't make this shit up. Jeez. I'm mad. No, I was gonna go. See, I've been.
You ain't gotta check her. She checked herself.
All these cases that I'm telling you about are online. They're out there for anybody to read. And I'm going to say it again. If you could read the Bible, or you could read the Quran, or you could read any of that other stuff that you're interested in reading out there, you can read these cases. It's not difficult. So that was that case. So that was another case that talks about social media and what people put on there and how it can be retrieved and how it can be used against you in certain circumstances. So today our topic is conspiracy. We're going to talk about conspiracies. Federal. We'll start with federal. A federal conspiracy. Now,
Odie.
this is interesting. Look this code up too. It's 21 U.S. Code Section 846. This is what is referred to as a drug conspiracy. It's a federal code, and it says any person who attempts or conspires to commit any offense defined in this subchapter shall be subject to the same penalty as those prescribed for the offense, the commission of which was the object of the attempt or conspiracy. So basically, what it's saying is that if you are involved in a conspiracy to sell drugs, then you're going to be liable just as if you was the one selling the drugs. Okay?
But that's attempt and conspiracy?
It's attempt. The attempt is a crime in and of itself. So attempt stands alone. Attempt to sell drug stands alone as if you had a drug, if you were selling drugs.
Yeah. But I never seen attempt and conspiracy.
Well, that's the conspiracy because
so attempt represents conspiracy.
Well, no, you can have conspiracy where everybody does their act.
Yeah.
But attempt and conspiracy means that you conspired and you didn't necessarily do an act.
Yeah, you attempted to.
You attempted to it or you conspired. But this is saying even if you attempt to do it, you still in. So if me and you make an agreement, right, that we're gonna sell some drugs, like I don't know, I shouldn't.
Yeah, that's.
I would pick.
Well, me and my friend of mine.
Whatever. This is all hypothetical. We ain't gonna sell no drugs. So me and you agree to sell drugs, right?
That's the conspiracy part that comes.
We entered the agreement, right?
Yeah.
And we happen to have the third person with us happens to be the FBI agent undercover, right? So we're all agreeing. He or she is pretending to agree. Nothing's gonna go down because that's the government. Mm-hmm. But me and you are agreeing and attempting to sell to this undercover. So even though it's not gonna really go down because this is an agent, we still in trouble because we attempted to do it.
Just by talking about it.
Talking about it to the extent that it is an agreement to do it. That you made a full. You didn't just say, oh well, maybe one day we'll sell some drugs. We didn't do all that. We made a concerted effort to enter into this agreement.
Even though he don't have the actual drug. We don't have the actual drugs to provide them.
Well, it's just like this. Here's the example. I'm gonna give y'all another case. This is this case is called United States v. Shabani. Shabani. Now this
weird names.
This is the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. I thought I pulled a Third Circuit case. We're in the Third Circuit. But anyway, this guy in here is saying that he cannot be held liable under this case because the government failed to prove that he did an act in furtherance of the conspiracy.
I like that argument.
Okay, well, it ain't no winning argument, so you could like it all you want, but if you use it, you're going to lose. Because under this federal statute, the deal is you don't have to have an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy because the conspiracy is the criminal act. So if you say, okay, I'm going to give you another example. I come to you and I say, okay, I got this guy that I'm selling. I want to sell him these drugs to, but we're gonna meet at your house because I don't have nowhere to meet, right? So you like, oh, all right, but you're not
part of nothing.
You're not part of nothing. You just a nice guy.
Yeah.
And you figure, okay, well, y'all can come over and do whatever y'all gonna do, but just leave me out of it. But if you want to come over, fine. Okay, well, the agent comes over. They do whatever they do or whatever. You just sitting there. Okay, well, you done put yourself in the midst of a conspiracy, even though you didn't do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the fact that you helped this along by letting them come to your house puts you into the conspiracy, because without your part in it, this could not have happened.
And you already knew what they was doing from the gate.
Well, not so much that you just knew it, because you can know somebody's about to do something, but what have you contributed to it? In a sense, you're involved in it because of the house. You allowed them to meet at your house. So this case, this Sabani case that I was telling you about, he hooked two people up together. He wasn't involved in the transaction, but he knew somebody who knew somebody. He was like, okay, well, I'm gonna hook you up with him. He does this, and you talk to him, and you guys do what you do. Okay, well, he became involved in it because he did the introduction. Even though in his mind he didn't do anything, he just told somebody that
this one never happened if he didn't put them together.
That's part of the conspiracy theory. Yeah. Is that if it hadn't have been for you hooking them up, this wouldn't have gone down. So therefore, you're in. So you're in. So you don't necessarily have
room to squeeze out of nothing.
It's one of those statues, just like all the other ones that
That's a messed up statue right there.
It's broad, and you could, and just like some of the other ones we've been talking about, you can get caught up in it, and you don't even really know that you're caught up in it. Now, there is an exception. I just want to point this out for the drug conspiracy, is that sometimes when you get well, not you, but there's a kind of like a wiretap. A bunch of people get caught up in a wiretap situation because people on the phones talking and whatnot, and they the government or the state says, oh well, this is all part of the conspiracy. This is everybody's all these people conspiring with each other. Even if you may not know this person may not know you. We all conspiring together. There is a case out there that says that you could argue that you weren't part of the conspiracy, but you were just you just made an individual drug sale. Like you just sold some drugs to me every once and again, but you wasn't involved in this wider conspiracy that I had with Preem and Shakira.
Yeah, you don't even know them.
Don't even know them, and we got our separate situation, and we can't. This is not no conspiracy.
I got my own personal relationship with you outside of what you got going on with them.
And you would say, just I'll take my weight for what I did.
Correct.
But why you got me involved in all the rest of this stuff? Because I don't know these people, and I don't even.
They try to go to trial with all these people.
Yeah,
I wanted to.
Exactly. So this case where you could argue that, here's another case. This is United States v. Alicia, ALICEA, and this is a Third Circuit case. The number is 10-3554, and this was September 2012. So this case, the individual argued that he sold drugs to one of the defendants, but he wasn't part of this whole big old drug conspiracy. He just did individual sales. So the court agreed that there can be a situation where you are somebody who sells drugs, but you're not involved in the bigger conspiracy that surrounds you. You just doing your own individual thing. So they will look at certain factors to determine whether or not you were part of the
enterprise.
The enterprise. And then it says here, when making this determination, courts generally consider the following factors: how long the defendant was affiliated with the conspiracy. So how often did how many times were you interacting with this person? Was it just like once every, blue moon, or was it something you did every other week?
7 months.
Well, every 7 months. Every 7 months?
No, dealing with him.
No. How often, do you deal with him on a regular? Do you deal with him? Was it just one time that they caught you on the wiretap dealing with him? That's what they look at.
Transaction.
Oh, they look at the the extent of the relationship.
Right, exactly. Whether there was an established method of payment, they look at that.
Yeah. So if you dealt with him one time, he don't fall into conspiracy.
Yeah, if you have a situation where he knows what you're gonna serve him, and he know what he gonna pay you, y'all got that all down pat. So every time you hook up, you just have it prearranged. That's gonna work against you. And then they also have to the extent which the transaction was standardized. I basically just said that. Like, was this some regular stuff that happened all the time? And whether the actions of the defendant and members of the conspiracy demonstrated a level of mutual trust. So how much information did you have about the other person? They look at that too.
So they looking for the snitch.
We didn't even get to that part yet. Whether the action of the defendant and whether the transactions involved a large amount of drugs, and whether the buyer purchased the drugs on credit. They look at all that. That's what they look at. And if they
get drugs on credit, then
this is what the case says, y'all. I didn't use you see the word? It's right there, credit. Okay. So
man, they dig in.
They look at all of that to determine whether or not there's going to be a conspiracy, or whether or not it's going to be a single drug transaction. Now, there's another U.S. code that talks about conspiracy outside of the drug context, and this is 18 U.S. Code Section 371. This is the conspiracy to commit an offense or to defraud the United States. So this is another conspiracy situation that you could have. But in this conspiracy, one of the co-conspirators has to have an overt act. So somebody has to actually do something. It might not be you that did something, but somebody actually has to do something before you can be held liable under this statute.
Okay, read it.
If two or more persons conspire either to commit an offense against the United States or to defraud the United States or any agency thereof in any manner or for any purpose, and one or more of such persons do any act to affect the object of the conspiracy, each shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. Okay? Now, this is this conspiracy is defined as such. The court recognizes that the essence of a criminal conspiracy is an agreement. You got to have an agreement, either explicit or implicit. So that means either direct or circumstantial. Remember we talked about that? And it says combined with the intent to commit an unlawful act. Combined with an intent to commit the underlying offense. So you have to enter into an agreement. The agreement has to be to do an unlawful act, and the agreement has to be to do that the unlawful act that's beyond the conspiracy. So if the unlawful act is to, commit mail fraud, then you have to enter into an agreement with somebody else
that we're gonna do this together.
We're gonna do this, and it's gonna be the mail fraud that we're gonna do. Okay. Now it says that to support a conspiracy conviction, the government has to show an agreement and a specific intent to achieve some unlawful goal. What?
I'm lagging.
Sound crazy, right? And the case that talks about conspiracy, this is an old case, a very old case, and it's called.
And they still using it to this day.
It's the foundation. A lot of these laws that we're talking about, they so old, and everything builds upon them. Yeah. So this is the foundation, and it's called Pinkerton v. United States. It's 328 U.S. 640, and this case was 1946.
God damn.
It's very old.
The cement of the case.
And it talks about conspiracies and what it is. What I think this was about some type of tax stuff they were doing. Something about a farm. You got to read it. It's interesting to read. You might have to read it a couple times to get the gist of it. But anyway, that's the foremost case.
So they didn't add nothing into conspiracy. They're only feeding off the foundation of the conspiracy. Right,
and they codified it. They put it into law. So that's the section that I read to you. But it all has the basis this old law from 1946. It's still being quoted today.
Yeah, that's applied with 2019.
Right. So now, A defendant cannot be held liable for the offense of a co-conspirator. These are the ways that you cannot be held liable. You cannot be held liable if the substantive offense committed by one of the co-conspirators was not in fact done in furtherance of the conspiracy. Let me read that again. The substantive offense committed by one of the co-conspirators was not in fact done in furtherance of the conspiracy. So that means that if me and you and Shakira and Preem, we all get together and we agree that we're going to do some act.
And we didn't do it.
Y'all did. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. But one person, and I'm going to say it's me, did something, but it did not help the conspiracy. I did something, but it didn't help you guys.
So you probably did something totally different from what we agreed.
Totally different. But I'm in on the conversations. I'm hanging out with y'all because we all friends, and y'all decided y'all going to go and do whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I'm going to do this right here. But what I'm going to do ain't got nothing to do with what y'all doing.
And you didn't tell us about it. You just
I could tell y'all about it or not. Y'all might think that it's something that is part of the conspiracy, but it's not. But it don't help. Whatever role y'all played, y'all needed to play those roles in order to get the conspiracy to get the offense to take place. Say for instance, y'all wanted to rob a jewelry store. Say for instance, it's Mother's Day and you wanted to get your mother a diamond necklace. So you decide you're gonna rob the jewelry store, right? So Preem gonna drive you. Shakira, you gonna jump out.
Preem always in the story.
I know and he always back there quiet, but he always doing something. So Shakira gonna jump out and make sure everything's cool in the store. She gonna scope out the store. You gonna come. I'm gonna let you come in with the gun and everything.
Why Preem had a gun?
Not Preem had a gun.
Why Preem had a gun? I'm about to get the most shots.
No, we conspire. We all getting the same time. The same time. But what I'm gonna do is go on over there and buy myself a cupcake. That's my job. Well, I'm gonna eat my cupcake while y'all doing all that. But what I'm doing ain't got nothing to do with trying to get this jewelry store robbed. So the diamond necklace can be.
So you off the hook.
I'm off the hook. Or another example may be that I think I will be on the hook if I actually wrap the gift after you guys get it, but it might be accessory after the fact. So I wasn't in.
I'd rather take the accessory than the.
No, you gonna take. I already gave you the gun, so don't be trying to.
She got.
You sound like you ready to.
She getting accessory. We call it collect, no answer.
I'm gonna put some money on your books. Don't worry, y'all. You
twisting the story.
Now, the second way that you cannot be a co-conspirator, if the substantive offense committed by one of the co-conspirators did not fall within the scope of the unlawful project. So the substantive offense committed by one of the co-conspirators did not fall within the scope of the unlawful project. So that means that you guys got together to rob the jewelry store, and I go over here and go and steal some wrapping paper at the dollar store. 'Cause after I eat my cupcake, of course. Then what I did I committed a crime. Mm-hmm. But it ain't had nothing to do with facilitating you robbing this jewelry store.
Wrapping people.
I stole, so I'm probably gonna get PTI because it's my first time offense, and I'm not gonna be wrapped up because my crime did not fall within the scope.
So that wrapping paper gonna be wrapped on us.
Even if you came with us.
If I can, it's gotta. Well, if I came with you, it might get a little bit tricky. But if I went out on my own and did what I did and stealing the wrapping paper, I'm not in.
But what if you came with us?
If I came with you, then the government's gonna make me a lookout or something. If I came with you and I'm in that car with Preem, I'm in.
All right, but listen to this. What if you came with us and just took while we went into the store, you told Preem, like, yo, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get me a cupcake. We already completed the job and everything. You come back running to the car with your cupcake, and we like, yo, but where you was at?
Yeah.
You supposed to do.
What was I supposed to do?
Whatever you supposed to do, you ain't do it. You ain't got a cupcake.
Well, I ain't do nothing then.
So you off the hook.
How am I on the hook when I didn't even do the thing it is that you told me to do?
You came with us. You in the car with us.
You cannot be guilty by association.
All right, that's what I was hearing.
You cannot be guilty by association.
In certain situations, they put. That's
no, you cannot be guilty by. I'm about to tell. It's in here somewhere. Hold up. I'm about to tell you. I'll give you the case if I can find it.
If you ain't getting locked up with us.
I might want to bring
what
cases to
don't
to
tweet it. Don't tweet whatever the hell it is you about to.
Cases back to
I don't think hell is a curse word, right?
Nah.
Okay. Don't tweet no mess. Don't tweet no threats against me. Damn it.
Nah.
Okay. Defendants cannot be convicted solely because of their associations. This is United States v. McKee, MCKEE 506 F3rd 225. It's the Third Circuit 2007 case.
Okay, now let me ask you this.
Wait, hold up before I forget this. If I'm going too fast about these cases, you guys can go back and look at the recorded, which I'm going to upload because I'm sure this live feed that we're doing is all messed up. I'm going to upload that so you can listen to, so don't panic about not knowing the case.
Rewind it back, like.
You can do whatever. It's recorded. It's recorded. I'm at 50 minutes? Dang.
All right, look. When they arrest a person for being associated with a gang member, that's a form of being guilty, right? You sending me back.
What you mean? Just because you associate? How do you? That's not a charge. Just being
That's what parole do. That's what parole do.
Yeah, because that's your agreement on parole. We talked about parole the first time.
That's your conditions. That
you agreed that you weren't going to do that. That's not a crime in and of itself.
But well, why couldn't it be a crime? Even if you agree, it's still not a crime to send me back.
It's a violation of parole. It's not a crime. You violated parole. You said, just like you said you wasn't going to drink, you wasn't going to take drugs, you wasn't going to get arrested again. All that stuff you agreed. And if you violate that, you're violating your conditions of parole. You're not catching a new case. You're just serving out the time you already had. Or if you're on special parole, they might give you some more time. But it's all.
I mean, it still seems like it's a crime that's sending me back.
We got 10 more minutes.
All right, go ahead.
The last one is you cannot be held as a co-conspirator if the substantive offense committed by one of the co-conspirators could not be reasonably foreseen as a necessary or natural consequence of the unlawful agreement. I have a typo in there.
Could you comprehend that?
Yes, I'll explain it for the people. Now, say for instance, everybody is going to agree to rob this jewelry store to get this diamond necklace, right? And we all and you have your gun, because remember you the hitman. No, he the driver. You got what's something? We're not talking about robbing the bank. We're talking about trying to get the damn diamond necklace for
their mother.
It's Mother's Day. Oh, I did. Oh no, we robbing. Damn. You okay? Robbing the jewelry store. Now look, we all know he got a gun, right? Except for me, because I'm over here stealing wrapping paper and buying cupcakes. I don't know nothing. Now, if somebody get killed as a result of what he does with this gun, even though you Chikera and you Preem didn't do nothing with no gun.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody dies, everybody's in except me. And that's what they call felony murder in our situation. So, but if it's not reasonably foreseen, so if nobody knew that he had that gun, and he just was going to go in on the strength of some fake stuff, and it can be shown that nobody knew he had that gun, then you might be able to get away. Shakira and Preem, you might be able to get away with that because you did not reasonably foresee that he was going to have that gun.
Okay, now the only way that would happen is somebody got to say we didn't know he had no gun.
It's not really going to happen. It's not really going to happen. It is going to be hard. And really what it boils down to, it really have to give you another example of a situation where you could commit a crime with co-conspirators, and then one person just does some stuff that ain't nowhere near in the realm of what y'all was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But if you're robbing something at gunpoint, that's always in the realm. So I would have to think of something that's not in the realm. Like, say for instance, if you were going to I don't know, you were going to burglarize a house. So nobody anticipated that there was going to be a gun. Matter of fact, we all thought that the house was empty. Mm-hmm. So we go and we burglarize the house, or attempt to, and somebody goes rogue, brings a gun and shoot up everybody in the house who happened to be home. Okay, now that person might be on their own because ain't nobody planned to do all of that.
Yeah.
So that would be the third reason. Now, the problem, that's all about the conspiracies in a nutshell. Like, all the information that I'm giving you is just in a nutshell, because I can't possibly give you everything that there is to know about these situations. There are all these little nuances and little, ins and outs. But at the end of the day, co-conspirators largely have to be concerned about the other, because a lot of times co-conspirators get other people involved by telling on them, and this is what people refer to in layman terms as snitching. And there will be situations where one person will get caught, the other people will not be caught, and the one that gets caught is feeling some type of way and then tells on everybody just to save themselves, or that maybe they're upset that they're the only ones that got caught. That's what occurs. Now, we were having a discussion before about the definition of what we thought a snitch would be and what a snitch would not be. Now, as we're wrapping this up, which we are going to do.
This will be a continuation to next week.
You want to continue?
Yeah, about the snitching part.
Okay.
That we discussed. We just touching on it now while we about to close.
What time? How much time we got? Okay, we got 5 minutes. We are going to fade out. We want you to listen to some music that Preem is going to play, and then we're going to pick up the snitching conversation at our next podcast, which would be this was number 6, by the way, if I didn't mention it. The next one will be number 7, and we will start on time. I don't know what's going on with this internet situation, but I'm bound and determined to fix it, and we'll see y'all next time.
But we ain't even touch on...
Wait, you want to touch on it now? You just told...
Bye, people.
He just said we was going to touch on it next time. Am I hearing things?
No, we was going to give it a continuation.
Okay, hold on, Preem.
Touching on the
give us a little backdrop about what we're going to talk about.
We're gonna start off with where you fall into a situation where you ask your friend to take you home. He drive you home. You got a gun in you got a gun on you. You don't tell him that you got a gun on you. Somewhere down the line, I get pulled over. He don't say nothing. They arrest everybody that's in the car and send you to jail. That's a continuation from that point.
Okay, very good. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Come on, Preem, with the music. Turn it up. Oh, it was? With the glitching. Oh, this is my shit right here. Oops.
We ain't part of this podcast. Go up.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just to close it. Creative flying.
Where's Nene? Because we got to take our picture.
Oh, yeah. She I guess she got
Take it personal, that's just how we go.
I think everybody gonna tune in on that shit.
Hell yeah. Don't take it personal.
This your daughter too? Oh,
And Preem.
I had
They sang this
Oh, you singing too, or you rapping? Oh, that's you singing?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I ain't even... I'm playing with the music, man.
Ooh, they talented. Huh?
Sure did? Or you just gonna sing it?
This one. Yeah. Yeah, we still on this one. It's still on. We listen to the music. I think.
Dang, you sing too? You got high notes going on?
That's my daughter right there. He sing the first part.
You said that's sing.
Yeah, that's me.